On today's episode of Denver Beer and Oil Brothers, we're doing donuts, but not just any frickin' donuts. Not just your mother's donuts. I'm talking big, beefy donuts. I'm talking muscular donuts. I'm talking diesel donuts, baby. Let's see how this baby rips up. Oh my God, this might be too much sauce.
We've named the black E34s, okay? Okay. Aaron's. It's got a Mopar 440 in it. Mopey. Okay? Will's. It's a Roadkill car. It's called Roadie. My car is a slightly rowdier version of Roadie, so it's Rowdy. Those are the three names. We're really good at coming up with names. So if you guys have better names, let us know.
Delicious. It's the taste of the mountains right there. Tastes like America and grizzly bears and bald eagles. Anyway, today is Friday. That's right, the Friday right before Roadkill. And Chris is deciding not to work on his car that's currently taken apart and not running. He's choosing to pull the transmission out of an E60. Questionable decision, if you ask me. So, falling more behind. You weren't supposed to hear this.
I could work on my car, but Will has the pins that I need to repin my ECU cable, and he doesn't know where he put them. So I had to order new ones, and they're not here.
We could just modify the ones you got from that old lady.
Or just use...
They don't fit. They
just grind them down.
Why don't we just use small gauge solid wire?
The part that you crimp doesn't fit through the back of the connector. Like nothing fits.
So just put the connector in the ECU. You don't need to have that piece.
Chris, small...
I ran my O2 sensor for 1.5 years with just a piece of wire stuck in it.
But it was just one. I have to put a bunch of pins, so then they're all gonna like touch each other.
No, they won't.
Just tape them.
Even that, no.
Man, where's your Roadkill spirit, for Christ's sake?
If you do small enough gauge, you can keep it insulated and just strip out the part that goes through.
The pins themselves will just touch.
No, they won't. They're plugging into a thing.
Yep.
Either way, I ordered the correct thing. It will be here today.
I'm using secondhand plugs from Chris's car.
They were only used on the Dyno
they're
for
new
like
used.
3 pulls.
New old stock E34 plugs. So I'm just sanding all the carbon off of them so they'll work. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Welcome back, YouTube. Little tidbit for today. Today's knowledge. Knowledge of the day. Show you how to tell heat ranges on plugs without even looking at the numbers. This here is a ZGR 5A out of an M30 BMW. And you can tell the heat range on it because of how high the electrode sticks up from the body of the plug. Now, if you'll look at a colder heat range plug for turbo cars or, you know, high compression, what have you, that electrode barely protrudes from the body of the spark plug. So the idea here is that you're not creating hot spots inside the cylinder. So to look at them back to back, there it is. So this is a 5 plug. This is an 8 plug. So depending on the company, the higher the number, the colder the plug, or the lower the number, the colder the plug. You got to check with the manufacturer. So when it comes to the NGK plugs, the lower the number, the hotter the plug is. The higher the number, the colder the plug is. And that has been your tech tip of the day.
Tech tip number 2. The bluer the mountains, the colder the beer.
I was curious, so I'm updating my budget stuff. So since last time, we've spent 160 on injectors, 100 on a wideband, 100 on welding materials for the intercooler piping, 150 on a turbo, which I haven't paid yet to Aaron, but I owe him, 50 on a fuel pump, and then I'm going to list the stuff that I had or was supplied to me for free from other people, which is Mega Squirt, the spark plugs, the blow-off valve, the brakes, what else? Oh, intercooler. So I'm curious to see where we're at now. So we got 1570, we got 0, 7, and 6 is 13, plus 5 is 18, plus 5 is 23. So that's 2, that's 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 1, 2. So I'm in this car $2,130 now. So not too bad.
Still cheaper than a
Can't
Mazda.
complain. Still cheaper than, yeah, still cheaper than a Mazda. So, and that's including the car.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was pretty fortunate because I had some stuff laying around, and you know, have good friends that give me things. But still, it just goes to show, guys, if you're creative, you can build a 700 horsepower car. This isn't going to be 700 yet, but it should be 500. You can build a 500 horsepower car for $2,000. There it is, proof. So I've been wrenching kind of behind the scenes while everybody else has been running around doing stuff, and got a ton of stuff done. So first and foremost, we have a Mega Squirt installed. We have a vacuum line plumbed in here. I've got a blaster coil MSD installed. The turbo is plumbed. You guys knew that. I've got a wastegate permanently mounted.
That thing should never ever come off again.
No, it's never coming off again because it took 3 people and 6 hands to get it on there. So that wastegate is never moving ever again. And if it does, I'm gonna cry. The spark plug's installed, so we went over that, or that might be part of another video. I don't know.
It's in
Anyway,
there.
went over that. So spark plugs are in. Distributor has been properly plugged in with everything except for the coil. I haven't figured out the final mounting place for that yet. The boost piping is actually on for the last time. It's on. Everything's on. So this is more or less how it's going to look in final form. So the whole thing's on. We got our blow-off valve on. We've even got vacuum running to the blow-off valve from the manifold. So this should be functional now.
Did you take the noise?
Charge pipe is all on. I haven't taken the noise spring out yet. So we're going to have fun with that probably later. Oh, and it looks like I got to redo that clamp now that I'm looking at it, because there's a big old gap right there.
Don't worry about that.
So go ahead and fix that. But I got to take these 2 wires. If you guys are doing Mega Squirt, if you want to know what to do, pin 1 and 4 does not matter the orientation. Just take these 2 wires, strip them, make them work, and plug them into pins 1 and 4. And then you will have your intake air temperature sensor reading on your Mega Squirt. And that's all you got to do. So I'm going to do that later. But intercooler's on, charge piping is on. It's freaking solid, and we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 couplers. That's way more than I wanted to have, but it's better than most cars, I think.
Yeah, and you got it.
So
Looks good.
everything's welded up. The TIG welds got prettier as they got more out of sight, so that's unfortunate, but it's okay. Yeah, so that's all plumbed. So now I'm waiting on some vacuum line, so I can finish doing all the vacuum references. So as it sits right now, what I need to do is I need
where'd the roll of vacuum line go?
I've been using it. It's
Okay.
not the right size though. So it looks like Aaron just showed back up, so this may be our parts delivery. And as soon as he figures out the code to the door, there he is!
Yeah, I'm so sick and tired of spending every day of my entire life building this car standing in line.
Right?
Dude, I was in an empty AutoZone for an hour and nobody helped me. I finally had to walk back there and grab Fred from back in the back. And like, dude, I'm like waiting.
Well, luckily, the only thing I have to run at this point is the wastegate boost reference, which is what I was about to tell you guys at home. I need to just run the wastegate boost reference. You're good.
Distracting.
So, dude, my car's like almost done right now.
I know, I'm super stoked. I'm like super sad that I was the last one on the disc, but we're almost there.
Jesse, who was a guy who at one point was going to buy a Volvo for me, I don't know where he's at. He's renting
This car's here, right? Mercedes?
Yeah,
Or
he,
Mazda, I mean.
He helped me pull the fuel pump, so that's sitting on the table. We'll go over there here in a second. But so at this point, for this engine compartment to be finished, all I got to do is mount the coil, put the coil wire on it, and run a boost reference to my wastegate, which I have already verified operates. I've verified that the blow-off valve operates. Everything, I'm extremely confident about this car right now, so it's looking good. I found some interesting stuff inside the fuel tank. This car apparently sat for a really long time because this is my fuel sender, or was my fuel sender, should I say, which has just the reference wire is completely shot. This is basically supposed to slide on that. So I may be getting another fuel sender out of one of our parts cars. Luckily we have that tool. So that's bad.
That's real bad.
But it has a new pump, which is right here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pump out, uncrimp this, even though this is a really fancy, cool looking dealy bobber here. I'm going to undo the pump, undo this hose, and then we're going to take our new pump that supposedly supports up to 600 horsepower. Ooh, no, 700 horsepower. 900 horsepower. It's got some horsepowers. Apparently there's some horses in here.
They're in the back.
They're in here somewhere. Horses in the back, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, and it came with a sock too. That's fancy. Cool. Thanks, James, for the hookup. Basically, here's how this is going to work. We get our wires plugged in. Okay, and I'm going to run these suckers up, splice them probably about here somewhere, solder them in, do some nice weatherproof connectors. And then we're going to take this little guy off and crimp it shwink, right there. Figure out a way to mount this pump in the sock inside of that, or maybe just, you know, send it. I want to hear some power. Let's see if it runs.
6-cylinder power, let's go.
We got like T-minus 5 days till Roadkill. All these cars are gonna be running, driving, and on the trailer in 5 days. Will's just fired up with a turbo. Man, it's cool. The old Holset's doing them good. So where I'm at though is I have been buying stuff all day with my paycheck. Now I'm broke again. And we got more stuff from our Mopar guy, which is like huge shout out. If you guys are in anywhere in Denver, Colorado, just anywhere in the vicinity, and you want a real Mopar guy to do your work, like you got a good car, like these guys don't touch like rotten old projects. They only touch like good ones, restored, you know, Mopower Masters. Look them up. They got a Facebook page and everything. They are the guys. They pretty much sourced all the parts for us. Every part you see here pretty much came from them. They're really good guys with a ton of knowledge, and right now we're just putting together our latest run of parts from them, which is we got this bracket set up he sold me, the matching pulleys we got going on, so we actually can tension it, and he showed, dude, it's crazy. This guy even showed us like what to buy to make this work and how to wire it.
Yeah, these guys knew their stuff.
Yeah, these guys are great. Well, anyway, we're right now we're just putting it together. We gotta wire it. Time it, put everything together, and then we can fire it, and then we gotta figure out the cooling system. But at this point, I gotta weld my rear diff, build my drive shaft, figure out the cooling system, wire it, and then fill everything with fluids. And then, I gotta figure out a trans linkage and a throttle cable. Unfortunately, I had a little hiccup with Speedway. I ordered a bunch of stuff to make all this really easy. The downside is Speedway, for whatever reason, had a real moment. I'm a big fan of them, I mean, still, but yeah, they like botched my order and didn't charge me the right amount, and then they sent it to my house, and it came to my house, and then they took it back, saying that my address was incorrect, even though it's like the only address I have and it works, but. Yeah, so that's where we're at with that, and so I canceled it. Now we're gonna engineer the rest of everything. We're just gonna keep chugging along. Will's building my fuel pump bracket right now, and I gotta get the fuel pump set up. Just Mr. Gasket special. I got this not only because it's super crappy and super cheap. If this thing fails on us, you can go to any auto parts store in the country, and they got one of these on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah. So worst case scenario. if it sucks and it just keeps failing and failing, we could just keep warrantying it and just keep installing them.
And you're good to go.
We're good to go. All right, guys. I've been called Jesse. I'm honored. I love Jesse. But anyway, we did good tonight so far, despite wasting an entire day shopping for parts. But we got an alternator, a belt that's tight, and brackets. The fuel pump's mounted under the car. The drive shaft is like in the process of being built. Will's got a good idea for the fuel pump pickup. Got an air cleaner on. Not really, it's just sitting there, but it's
That is a
goofy.
hot boy cleaner.
Yeah, right. Hot boy.
I'm a fan.
It's gonna go right through the hood. Well, dude, we're making progress, and on
Shaker, baby.
Sunday, this is gonna make noise. I have all the stuff to wire and fire, but I do have to go to Lowe's and get hardware.
You better be careful about predictions, because every time we give predictions, they fall short.
Yeah.
But it's
Nah,
okay. We can just keep giving the predictions eventually. We will
Exactly.
start.
It's
the car.
optimistic. I like it.
So
Yeah.
at this point, I think it's pretty fair to say that all three cars are pretty fucking even, with the exception of Aaron's because it doesn't have a drive shaft. But Chris's doesn't run. Actually, I'm in the fucking lead right now.
Yeah. You're the only one. That
I'm in the lead, baby, because mine could drive out of the shop right now.
But it does need to get taken apart and somehow get a clutch put in.
And he's using Chris's
I didn't
Mega
say
Squirt.
that part. So it's
And it's
definitely
running on my Mega Squirt.
also true. But it runs.
But yeah, otherwise, man, the big block cars, everybody's in good spirits and good shape, and even
Really
Chris's
good.
car doesn't need much. Just needs a little bit of stuff done to it.
Just waste the spark and he's done.
My connector got delivered today, so we'll see how that goes.
And Brandon's been working magic on the exhaust.
Oh, dude, let's
Time
go
to do
show
it.
the
Yeah.
people. All right, so to preface this, the wrong part showed up in the shipment for the exhaust, but we made vodka lemonade out of lemons. So let's check it out. The collectors we were supposed to get were supposed to be, true 4-to-1 collectors, but they sent us this bullshit Chinese stamped steel. So, and they also sent 2 of them instead of 1. So instead, we're gonna basically match the angle of this panel right here, make it flush, and it's gonna look like that. So I'm gonna have like the Irish Pagani.
You should get a Guinness banner, like of a beer.
Oh, fuck yeah, okay.
Put a Guinness
This
banner
is
right
my
there.
official shout out to Guinness. Guinness, if you'd like to sponsor me, I will paint this car with a Guinness livery.
That'd be hilarious.
Hit me up. I will drink nothing but Guinness for a year. Shameless plug. Let's do it. Anyway, that's tight. I am super stoked to see that. It might sound like dick or it might sound cool. Who knows? I don't know. Either way, I'm amped. I'm super stoked on
I
this.
hope it shoots like F-14 style, like afterburner flames, like with them. Like,
Dude, we may need to have, like, I'm not going to have time to do it now, but we may need to do some, like, propane extra spark plug injection style stuff. So
Here's anti-lag.
We're gonna get somewhere in about New Mexico and pull over, and Will's just gonna get out of the truck and get in the trailer with a laptop, and just be in there the rest of the ride to Arizona, setting crap
I'm
up.
gonna get out all carbon monoxide poison and just fucking. I got launch control, guys.
But so I think this is just gonna be a quick update this episode, and then we'll be back on Sunday.
Anyway, I guess everybody's got to get out of here, so this is going to conclude this episode of Denver Beer and Oil. I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribers. And as usual, please like, subscribe, share with your family, your friends, your grandparents, anybody you know. Spam it on Instagram. I appreciate it. Cheers, people.